Hey there, and welcome to my version of EXP Explained. My name is Daniel, and I am an organizational leader at EXP. I run an organization called the Hive Excel Group, which I'll talk about in a couple of seconds. Really happy if you're watching this. I have a lot of new agents that generally watch this video, so if you're watching this, congratulations on getting your license. If you're an experienced agent, thank you for checking us out and giving us a shot. So I want to kind of spend the next 30 minutes not really digging in on any one thing or another, just kind of give those that are watching a little bit of an overview of EXP, and really more so coming from my perspective as somebody that's been in the business for quite some time. This place has been an incredible resource for me. It's been a life-changing proposition since I came over to this company, and I want to talk a little bit about it again from my perspective. So over the next 30 minutes, again, I'll just kind of go through this presentation. You probably will not get all the information, but hopefully enough information to want to continue having conversations with us, which we would absolutely welcome. So a little bit about me. I've been in the business 19 years. Spent the first 10 years of it in production. I'm originally from New York, sold real estate originally in the suburbs of New York City, then kind of moved into more of the Manhattan and the Brooklyn part of town, and did a little bit of everything. Worked condo sales, high-end stuff, investors, worked on-site, did a lot of leasing, so did a little bit of everything, and was sort of, I realized fairly quickly in my career that my passion working with agents is superseded my passion working with buyers and sellers. And so I got my broker's license, and I started working within the agent development part of our industry, originally for some smaller boutique companies, and then just kind of worked my way up, and eventually became the managing broker and a senior managing director at a company called Corcoran. Moved to Florida in early 2020. Spent a little while with Keller Williams, and then came to EXP in February of 2021, where I founded my own organization called the Hive Excel Group. So the Hive Excel Group is currently, I'm recording this in July of 2024. We are currently 150 real estate agents throughout the state of Florida. We work in one big think tank. I'm a huge believer in putting agents inside of rooms with other agents, allowing people to work together, allowing people to grasp concepts and build plans based on what other people are doing. It's a really, really important X factor in our industry that oftentimes in a lot of brokerages, at least in my experience, have been missing. So I'll talk a little bit more about that as we continue. But let me talk first about EXP the brokerage. So EXP the brokerage is it's more of a thing than it is a place, and that can be a little bit hard to grasp. But one of the things that our founder, Glenn Sanford, who was originally a tech guy, he worked in some tech startups and then became an agent. One of the things that he realized that was just right in front of him, I can't imagine why more people don't fully understand this, is that people don't work with real estate brokerages, they work with real estate agents. People work with people. And so what he did was he built a firm, he built a company that agents can not only use as a brokerage, but also can use as a tool, as a vessel, to help them self-brand and build their own businesses. And we've been wildly successful on it, and I'll talk a little bit more about sort of what the numbers have looked like. But that's the really cool part about this company, in that you'll never see EXP commercials, you'll never see billboards or bus bench ads or anything like that. It's a company that's built for the agents. And so it is essentially the most agent-centric company, really in my experience, made up of these three main categories. So first off, we're a cloud-based firm. So we have no offices, at least not EXP-sponsored office. So that's another one. That's another thing. Like, people don't often recognize EXP because they're not driving around and seeing EXP offices. Now, one of the misconceptions about this, and we'll talk about some misconceptions, is that no offices means no support, which could not be further from the truth. In 2024, the way we connect is online. More and more people and more businesses are connecting online. The truth is that a lot of agents, especially newer agents, have this romantic idea of what a real estate office is, where they think they're just going to walk in and there's going to be a large group of people that are going to be there waiting for them to be waiting for them and waiting to help them. And that's not the case, because what you want as an agent is you want access to other agents. You want access to other people who are doing business. You want access to other people that are navigating through whatever the challenges are of present day market. And you want to have a better understanding of what it is that they're doing, so you can potentially model your business after them. And the truth is that busy agents are not in offices. Busy agents are in cars. So the way to connect with people, or the way to incentivize others to connect with you, if you're the one looking for help, is to give them an easy way of connectivity, which is what our brokerage has done. So you as an agent, you don't need to go anywhere every time there's a training. You don't need to go anywhere anytime you have a question. You've got everything at your fingertips. Our business moves incredibly fast. So how you get your information is really, really important, and getting it instantly is crucial. We have more training than any other firm, at least that I've seen out there. I'll talk a little bit about that. 70 hours of live training every single week. We'll also talk about a back end that we have called EXP University. And we're a company that is partially owned by the agents. So 50% of EXP revenue goes back down to the agents. There's several different ways to generate income if you're an agent in this company. We have a great stock program. There's also an amazing revenue share program. So there's several ways to be able to generate income for yourself as an agent just by selling real estate. So a little snapshot of the history of our company. Our company's been around about 15 years now. Again, this is 2024 that I'm making this video. So originally founded in 2009 and grown tremendously. Currently licensed in all 50 states, and currently the largest independent brokerage in the world. We're live in, I believe it's 24 different countries. Really, really awesome. So we're the first public company in real estate to offer equity opportunities. We'll talk a little bit about that, how agents are earning stock when they're in this company and they're selling real estate. Agent-centric means that you as an agent, you have a seat at the table as far as what happens at your brokerage. That's really, really important. And the ability to self-brand, the ability to actually own your own business and not be fully reliant on your brokerage pushing their brand on your behalf. You have a lot more control, which means that you have a lot more ownership stake in yourself, in your business, and more importantly, your future. So it's an incredible opportunity to grow. The more entrepreneurial minded or spirited agents do incredibly well, but quite frankly, our industry requires people to be a little bit more entrepreneurial. And again, this is a company that gives entrepreneurs a platform to be able to grow to unmeasured heights. I talked about ownership, community. So that's where our organization is going to come in. It's an opportunity to put yourself in a room with other agents and other people who have already accomplished your goals, and be able to use them as a sounding board, and also to be able to get ideas, draw ideas from them based on what it is that they're doing. That's an incredibly powerful tool. We're arguably, I would argue, the most innovative brokerage out there. Originally kind of more of a tech company than anything else. We were the first of its kind. You see a lot of copycats out there because it's working. And freedom. I always say this: how you make your money is as important as how much you make. The ability to make your money without putting your life in a position where it's increasingly more and more labor intensive is crucial. You have a lot of agents out there that are just running in place, running that rat race, exhausted 10, 15, 20 years into the business, And that's not what you want. You want the opportunity to actually build a business and reduce how labor intensive your life is with time. So currently, we are the largest firm in the country by agent count, and we've also been #1 in transactions each of the last 2 years. So 2023 and 2022, according to Real Trends and some other sources, as you see here. So when I talk about some of the things that EXP is and provides, it is a little outside the box, but clearly based on these numbers, something is working. I talked about us being the largest independent brokerage in the country. We're in 24 different countries currently, the largest independent brokerage in the world. We're in 24 different countries, and we're always opening up a presence in different places. So the first, or one of the main things I want to talk about is how do you get access? How do you access people? So EXP, part of the EXP platform, is powered by a really cool platform called EXP World. So EXP World is basically a virtual campus. Think of a video game version of a college campus where you have offices and you have lecture halls where you can sort of create your character. You can walk in there. There's at any given moment hundreds, if not thousands, of people that are present in this EXP World, because the entire EXP company of 90,000 agents, and then we have another 1,000 or so employees that are using this as their hub. So you can use this to quickly go in, log in, access all the training. There's, again, I mentioned there's 70 hours of live training every single week. Or you can walk to any one of the EXP offices. So for example, you can walk into the broker room, the broker office, respective to your state. You take a ticket like you would normally at the deli counter, and then within minutes, if not seconds, you're sitting down with one of our brokers and you're having a one-on-one conversation. So there's no need to go to an office. There's no need to wait for a call back. It's instant, and it's really great, and it travels with you. That's the other cool thing about it. All the value of an office is generally lost when agents tend to get busy, when they have a few buyers or a few sellers that are pulling them in different directions. They're spending less and less time in an office. With EXP World and the EXP platform, your office travels with you, so you can access it easily. You don't have to lose any of its value. And furthermore, because EXP is not spending any money on offices, a lot of those expenses go back to the agents. The agents invest, the company, invests in the agents in the form of technology, training, all those good things, and then it doesn't have to subsidize the cost of an office back to the agent. So there's no desk fees or franchise fees or any abnormal and unnecessary overhead costs. So a little bit of look at kind of the EXP opportunities and services. I'm not really going to dig into any of this. We have Revenus. Revenus is a really cool kind of, let's call it a lead hub, where agents inside of the brokerage can get certified in certain niches. And whether it's relocation, REO, as you see here, express offers, which is cash buyers, and then have access to a pipeline of clients respective to that niche, local to their area. So it's, some of these certifications, they're a few hours. You can take them over a course of a day or two, and you can have a pipeline of leads, whether it's relocation clients, cash buyers, REO properties. Really, really great way to to subsidize a lot of the things that agents are doing on their own with respects to lead generation. So, but speaking of lead generation, we have an incredible platform called KB Core. It's an internet-based business. So the idea of door knocking, cold calling, the idea of sitting in an office waiting for walk-ins, it's dead. These things are not happening. 97% of people, this is a hard stat, 97% of people who are actively shopping for homes are doing so online. So you need to have an online presence. So a platform like KB Core, which is a really powerful CRM that powers your EXP website, allows you to also drive traffic to that website by instantly creating ads on sites like Facebook, on sites like Google. I teach my agents to create to do something called property boosting, where they go in for $60. They can create a really, really simple Facebook ad that stays on Facebook for about a week, that generally will render someone, depending on price point, anywhere from 6 to 8, sometimes 10 or 12 new contacts within a week. So really, really great way of building your database, which is step number one when you're starting a business, and really your main step when you're growing it as well. I mean, that's always the biggest issue, or the biggest problem that a real estate agent needs to solve, and that is lead gen and lead conversion. So we believe in automating a lot of this stuff. Our conversion rate in our industry is really small, so being able to press a button and have new leads coming in is really, really important. And then the other thing I'll show you guys is our marketing center. This is kind of what it looks like. This is an incredible one-stop shop of all things that anyone would need, where you can just plug and play your templates, save them. You never have to worry about paying for things like Canva and doing marketing from scratch yourself. It's an incredible tool that has literally everything that you can possibly need or want. All right, so I'll talk about a few of these things fairly quickly. EXP University is the back end of training. You've got 70 to 80 plus live hours that you can access training, but you can also access training on demand. You can log into EXP University. You get a list of different trainings that have taken place in the past in EXP world. You could sort it by curriculum. You could sort it by content. So if you want, if you want to do lead gen training, lead conversion training, just basic marketing training, conversion, whatever it is, it's there for you. Mentorship. We as a group offer what we call sponsorship. So you'll hear two separate terms. Your sponsor is your long-term partner in the company. You can name a sponsor. It's totally voluntarily somebody that you want to work with. So one of the things that's part of our process here is we hope that after you watch this video, we will pair you with one of our sponsors that works within our organization. Our sponsor is somebody who is an active agent who is currently selling at a very, very high rate. I have a lot of people within our group that are selling $10, $15 million, and they are actively sponsoring, which is just a fancy way of saying long-term mentoring our agents. So at the end of this video, after you've watched it, in your email that you got sent, you'll have an opportunity. There's a booking link, and you can use that to set up a one-on-one to dig a little bit further with respect to questions you may have regarding EXP, but also get a better sense of how that person can help you in your business. And that's a really, really powerful thing, being able to have access to agents who are out there solving these problems, doing business, navigating through whatever challenges that are happening in today's market. And in today's market, there are plenty. Separate from this, EXP will assign new agents. If you're newly licensed, it will assign you a mentor, somebody that will help you on the documentation side of your first 3 contracts. Masterminds and just collaborative events in general. Our organization, the Hive Excel, is going to offer those that join a ton of agents inside of the brokerage. As you can see, we're doing 3 or 4 classes over the course of a 2-day period. So about 6 or 7 different training opportunities over the course of a week. Everything from role play to coaching, to real estate business growth and mindset, production training, and these trainings are led by some of the biggest names in our industry. So it's not just about what EXP can do for you, it's about what us as an organization, as a group of real estate professionals can do for people. And as you can see by this, we are helping agents at a very, very high level. Let's talk a little bit about the money side. The EXP commissioning cap is, in my opinion, one of the best out there. Every agent is on an 80-20 split with a cap of $16,000. So what that means is when you do a transaction at EXP, EXP takes 20% of that transaction. It will continue to take 20% of that transaction up until they've earned or taken a total of $16,000 in total business. So once agents hit that 16,000, once the company has taken 16,000, that's called capping. And then from then on, you go to 100%. This resets every year. So, and it depends on kind of the anniversary date of your hire. So what this means essentially is, you know, that as your business grows, you'll never pay more than $16,000 in commissions. Most other brokerages, they don't have a cap. So you're always paying into the company, whether it's a 70-30, 80-20, and in a lot of aspects, even at a 90-10 split, you're still paying more over the course of that year in commissions than an 80-20 with a cap. So you know, going into every single year, 16,000 is the maximum amount you'll ever spend in commissions, and you can budget your business accordingly, which is really, really great. And you're also kind of raising your yearly split as you do more and more business. You're kind of annual split. Next, some costs when agents sign up. It's $149. And then from there, it's $85 a month out-of-pocket monthly fee. That is the only thing that agents have to worry about when it comes to out-of-pocket fees. And then there's an additional $85 here in transaction fees. 60 of that goes towards your it's your E&O insurance, which you're paying in any brokerage, and 25 of that goes to something we call a transaction review, where your state broker will always kind of cross the T's and dot the I's on all your documentation, making sure that we're compliant to state law. Let's talk a little bit about just some additional financial incentives. There's something called iconing in this company. I'm not going to get too involved with this, but agents that are doing roughly 30 to 35 deals a year are getting that $16,000 cap back in stock. So this $16,000 comes back to them in the form of EXP stock. Now, there's other ways of earning stock in our company. Every year when you close your first deal, you get $200 in stock. Every time you hit the $16,000 cap, you get $400 in stock. If you refer agents into the company, if someone names you a sponsor, when they do their first deal, you get $400 in stocks. I've been in the company about 3.5 years. I've referred a significant amount of agents. I've never personally had my name on a single transaction since I came here. I work with other agents that do transactions, and I am the proud holder of over 1,000 shares of stock that have just been given to me. You can also opt into something called an agent equity commission program, in which it's completely voluntary. You can enroll in it, and 5% of your net commissions from closed transactions are taken out automatically, and stock is bought under your name at a 5% discount. Look at this as sort of like a 401k. And then the last thing I'll talk about today is revenue share. So a lot of misconceptions about revenue share. You'll hear the term pyramid scheme or MLM. The truth is, first of all, that pyramid schemes are illegal in our country. Our company is partially owned by the agents. 50% of all revenue that is generated by EXP gets broken down or gets sprinkled back to agents, because EXP believes that when agents are doing transactions and when they're telling their other agent friends about how great a company is, that they're essentially building that company, and so they should have some monetary skin in the game with respect to the growth of that company. Our company is not a recruiting company. I showed you earlier, we do more transactions than any other brokerage. At least we have in the last couple of years. So it's really important to understand that that is a misconception. You are not forced to attract agents at EXP. Out of the close to 90,000 agents at EXP, roughly 5,000 to 6,000 of them are involved in revenue share, meaning that they have actively attracted another agent into the company. So it's a really, really small percentage. The truth is that if you're somebody that does want to attract other agents, there's a lot of monetary value to it. But even if you're not, the revenue share model allows you to understand that there are other people tied to your business financially. So you have essentially a group of people who financially benefit from your success. And that's why you have so much collaborating going on in our firm. So even if you're not a participant in revenue share, you still benefit from being part of a company that has a revenue share model, because you can go to other people that are maybe years ahead of you in their respective business growth, and they have a financial incentive to answer your questions, to connect with you, to give you information, to help you any way they can. So all around, it's a really, really incredible thing. But if you want to participate in it, for me, it's been a life-changing proposition. Here's what it goes. Here's how it works, kind of in a nutshell. $2,800 per agent per year is what somebody stands to make when they refer someone into the company. In the past, working in traditional models, I've referred countless amount of friends, colleagues, people that I've met over the years, and I've probably generated millions and millions of dollars for different brokerages, and I haven't seen a penny of it. So the really cool thing about this is you can go out there, you can do business, you can network with other agents. These conversations happen very organically, where agents are sort of picking the brains of other agents with respects to what does your brokerage have to offer? And being part of an agent-centric brokerage like EXP serves a huge advantage, because we have so much stuff that we can offer to other agents, which is why you see such big agents and big teams consistently coming over, really all over the world. But by bringing people over, by referring people into the company, you as the agent stand to make close to $3,000 per year per agent. And this cascades. This cascades to really 7 levels, but we're just going to talk about the first 2 levels. Think of it as a family tree of agents. Each tier, quote unquote, is sort of like your cousins, your first cousin, your second cousin, and you can make money up until your 7th cousin. But let's just look at the first 2 and what that means for someone financially. So the average here is about $3,000 per agent based on $2,800 and $3,200. So if you refer 10 agents into the company and you're making up to $2,800 per agent, that's a fair amount of money. That's just passive money that gets deposited into your account. But what if 10 agents that you brought in 10 agents each of their own? So now we're talking 100 plus agents. Now we're talking about 6 figures, up to 6 figures in yearly income that just gets deposited into your account, solely because you're at EXP and you're excited about it and you're telling others about it. And they're coming in, they're doing business, they're making money for the brokerage, and you stand to make money as well. And this is kind of an overview of what it looks like. I'm not really going to dig into the numbers here, but just to show you that you can make money up until 7 tiers. So here we are, it's 2024. We are past 90,000 agents. This company has grown tremendously over the last few years. I hope that this video brings you a little bit of clarity. The next step in our process is to meet with one of our agent leaders. So in your email that you received along with this video is a booking link to set up a one-on-one and to shed light on any questions that you may have with respects to EXP, but also allow one of my agent leaders to talk about how we as an organization can help you, and talk about how they as individuals, as potential business partners, as potential mentors, can help you with your business. I'm a big, big believer in the X factor of doing this business is being connected to other people, and how important it is to be able to extract information at a moment's notice from people that are out there doing business. It is incredibly important. And I recommend that you set up a time, meet with us. We'd love to continue talking to you and seeing and exploring if the Hive Excel Group and if EXP is the right partnership for you and the right partnership for us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you down the road, and best of luck.